Hi, I'm Paul Roberts, and this is Conscious Counseling 101. And today, Angela writes to me, and she's asking me a very basic question. So I'm just going to expound on what I would think on this topic. And this is kind of like an introductory video to Angela so that she can understand who she's talking with. And maybe that she'll want to expand a little bit more on some of her thoughts, and maybe I can talk with her more. So basically, this is a very general video that maybe others can benefit from. And so what she asks is, she says that a lot of people are going through this, of course, but everybody reacts to it in different ways. She's feeling stuck inside, and she's single and a tad lonely, unattended to, just feeling disconnected. And she's not comfortable, she says, admitting this to her friends because she worries that they might judge her. And so, probably not a good thing to add on to the things you already have with more problems. So you're probably right to be a little more safe about this. And so she says her concerns are about being alone and without proper support emotionally or physically or sexually. Not sure if that's something you can help me with. Well, it really is. And one of the things I do, I've kind of shortened my thing of what I put out there. I don't put out very much, and I don't advertise really. But just on like the general community thing on Craigslist, I say, hey, I can talk with you if you have actual concerns or need some life coaching or counseling. But also you can look at me as a friend, somebody that is just here to offer no cost counseling, free talking, friendship. But there's a lot of people out there you can talk to right now. You can go find anybody you want on Facebook and talk with them. And there's lots of people that are eager to talk. But I actually believe that I actually have a practice that I've been doing for about 15, 20 years. And I actually have a lot of time invested in this. And as my artistic endeavors have shown me by being analytical, and I'm an introvert myself, so I spend a lot of time alone. I'm actually probably a good person to talk to you about this right now because I'm very comfortable with it. But I'd like to talk to you about your things. But one of the reasons why I think I can help you is that I want to. and I think I can because I'm an analytical artist. I have been all my life. And this has caused me to take, whatever I'm working with, I have to analyze the form. I have to analyze, what's the purpose of it? What's it saying to people? What's it conveying? What do I have to do to make it something that wasn't there originally? How much injection of creativity am I going to use? Where am I going to take it? For what I put from within on top of it, and then I show it to someone else. How are they going to get something out of it that they wouldn't have had? My name is Artsy1. I call myself Artsy1 on the internet because when I went to art school, one of the things I learned was what art is, and most importantly, what art is not. It's not artsy-fartsy. Artsy-fartsy is just, well, you can have fun with it. Art for art's sake's okay, but what I feel art is taking something that you have inside and working with it and molding it and shaping it and doing things with it and creating something that reflects what you have to offer into a way that others can receive it, and then they're going to get what you injected into it. They're going to see it, they're going to read it, they're going to get some positive, clear message, some communications from it that's clear to them that can actually help them. So I find that to be useful artistically. So as a counselor, a life coach, one of the things I like to do is take these practical things that I've been doing all this time in my life, my whole life I've been an artist, and apply it to human concerns, thoughts. So let's talk about your human concerns and thoughts. And these are just going to be basic things today. And if you'd like to talk more, we can. All right, so what you have here really is probably being exacerbated because we're going through different things right now, through solitude and things like that, okay? And we shouldn't, I don't think, be taking the time to figure out how to just get past this. One of the things I'm expressing to my family and anybody that wants to listen to me is that we should use this as a valuable time in our life. Not a time when everything's stripped away from us, but one of the most positive times in our life. Why? Because now, without all the burdens that we normally have that diffuse the ideas that we should be thinking about and caring about and being concerned about and really focusing on every day, now all of a sudden there's way less to think about. So instead of feeling codependent and isolated and lonely, we should say, whoa, who am I? What can I do? I can do anything I want to do. Let's think about what I should have been doing all this time that I can do now in droves better than I ever had a chance to do before because I'm not being pulled so many directions. So instead of focusing, this is what I do is perspective counseling, by the way. I'm not licensed or certified for this, but I'm uniquely qualified, even beyond what most people that are licensed and certified are in this type of genre of perspective counseling. What I'd like to suggest to you, instead of feeling stuck inside, feeling lonely, say, whew, I get a break. Thank goodness. Now I'm going to be everything I can be. I'm going to learn to be everything I can be. I'm going to be figuring out who I am, maybe. And I'm going to do the most I can with it. It's not going to be a curse. It's going to be a blessing that I didn't see as a blessing. I'm going to start working with all the things I'd like to be or think I am, or throwing away falsehoods of who I might have thought I was, analyzing more. Don't distract yourself with just TV and video games and books and chatting with people online. Go ahead and delve in deep and find out who you are. Take the time to ask hard questions in the silence. You know, I'm not very much of a New Age thinker, guru type, really. Well, they'd be talking about meditation, and when you think of that, you think of and all this stuff. None of that stuff. I'm talking about just realistic stuff. Just concentrate on your conscious. Concentrate on what your mind thinks and why it thinks that way. Concentrate on what you'd like it to think and be like. Take the time to do mental exercises and give yourself the confidence. And if you can't do it, I'll help you as we go along. Give yourself the confidence to believe that what comes from within can be the very best thing, not only for you, but for, well, anybody in their unique ways. You know, I don't know if you're very old, but Mr. Rogers always used to say, there's nobody like you. And he's so right about that, and it touched so many people. But the truth is, you hold the tools to what you can be, who you are, what you do with what you are. And the words I'm getting out of this is that you're not comfortable, that you're lonely, you're stuck inside, you're concerned that you don't have proper support emotionally or physically or sexually. Ultimately, we shouldn't need these things. We come to believe we should. And when we believe we should, when we have it, we might feel bolstered, right? But if we become codependent that we have to have it, then all of a sudden we're actually weaker when we have the thing. It's like a crutch. When we don't have the thing that we think we need, that's when we can become strong. And I can help you to realize through perspective counseling why this is the time that you can become strong and what you can do. Now, you didn't give me hardly anything to work with. So I just like to say, I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101. I can talk to you as a support person for no cost. I can talk to you as a friend for no cost. I have a life where I have had so many careers and so much life, and I've done so many things and been all over the place, and have been on my own, even though I'm married and I have a family, but I mean, I've been literally not working for the man, but my own successful entrepreneur type individual most of my career life. And so I have sat on my own as an artist, either at a drawing board or behind an editing studio or with my sculpture or with my paints or illustration or just all kinds of things. I do video production. I've worked in the movie industries. I've done sets and props, all kinds of things. And once I touch something and I get good at it and I do something, I say, okay, I've done something there. I've learned something from that. I then take it and apply it back to myself. And when I do that, I could say, you know what? I'm comfortable with this now. I can do more. I can put those feathers in my cap. I can work my way up the corporate ladder. I can keep doing that because I'm good at it now. I'm comfortable with it. People start to know me. But instead, I haven't, because really I am an introvert. I'm on my own, kind of like you, but I'm strong about it. And I realize once I've accomplished something, I realize what it means, I analyze it fully, I indoctrinate it into my overall belief system from my pool of ideas that I believe are the most worthy pool of ideas. There's a lot of pool of ideas that are just false notions and just cruddy junk. You gotta just try to get rid of it, throw it out, realize it has nothing for you. Even though you think it has validity for others, or maybe if they're even riding the tide of success on it, it doesn't necessarily work for you. They're ideas and false notions. You need to determine who you are and what makes you happy and makes you you. So you're going to do some of your own self-analysis. But if you don't feel wise enough, or well-studied enough, or old enough, or worldly wise enough because you have enough experiences to draw from, then this is why perspective counseling can be very beneficial. You can take whatever it is that you see in front of you, all the aspects of your life, And you can say to yourself, what if I'm just being negative about this particular subject? What if I see what I see there and I throw out those negative ideas and say, what's good about this? Or what can it do for me that I haven't realized yet? Well, then all of a sudden, through perspective counseling, you've given yourself the suggestion that this goodness can start flowing in, that you can work with it and you can gain from it. And once you've done that, what have you really done? It's still the same thing it is, right? But you look at it a different way. You go and you touch it. You reach out. You feel it. You examine it. You don't hide away from it and say, oh, I don't like quietness. I don't like loneliness. I don't like the fact that there's no one there. Say, I'm going to learn what it's like to really be there for myself. And the levels are going to go up. And I'm going to go way more there for myself to the point where I get to be so strong and I bring in everything that I need that I almost don't even realize that the things that I thought I wanted, I don't even realize that they're a problem anymore, because now I've said to myself, I'm not going to let them be a problem. I'm going to make it so they're not. And I'm going to ask myself, well, why were they? Why did I think they were problems? And I'm going to analyze them. And I'm going to learn from that. And I'm going to create my own medicine, my own perspectives, my own paradigm shift. And I'm going to become someone new because I've allowed myself to. I don't know if anybody's ever talked to you like this before. I can talk to you in this way, and you can have those things. Now, it may be hard for you. You may be used to having closeness. But you put a little clue in here, and it's all I have to work with. If you give me more, I'll try to work more. You give me a little clue that you're worried about your friends judging you if you admit these things to them. Well, the first thing I would say to that is, either you're insecure and you need to work with these things I'm talking about now, or it could very well be that the people you surround yourself by and call acquaintances and friends aren't really qualified to assist you as much as you think they might be. And you might be better off during this time to not shoo them away, but don't feel let down that they're not there. Realize that if you have to be worried about how they relate to you and what you say, well, if they're judgmental, they're not really some of the highest things in your life. Maybe you're glad they're there. Maybe you do fun things with them. Fine, that's fine. But there's flaws in the relationship that they have with you. There's flaws in their life, maybe, that could cause them to judge you or for revealing these things to them. So I'd recommend you don't go there and try to walk on eggshells around them just to get them to be there for you and try to bring them in again during this difficult time, this lonely time. I'd advise you to just be there for them if they call you up, and be cordial and nice and be your regular self, but don't gravitate towards them. Don't try to draw them in. Go towards what you have and make that more. If you're not supported emotionally, why do you need to be supported emotionally? Become a pillar of strength on your own. Why does anybody else need to tell you that you're valuable? You need to learn self-value. I have some other videos on self-value, or we can talk more about self-value. If any of these things I'm saying right now spark anything in you that say, oh yeah, you touched on something there, I'd like to hear more about it, I'd be glad to. I'm here. One of the things that people don't realize, a lot of people, ask me, like, is there a catch? One of the things, the reasons I do this is not only because I can and I'm good at it, it's because I do this, I have more self-value. I've shown through my actions that I have created a worth for myself. I stand on the pillar of that worth and I relate it and I offer it free. So I do get something out of it. Not only can I help others by this generic video that others can watch and maybe benefit from, but I get something. I'm standing on a strong rock of a pillar of a belief that I have that what I have is valuable and worthwhile. And I've done that for myself through perspective counseling. And because I've done that for myself, I know it works and I can share it with you. So I'm going to keep this down under 15 minutes here, call it a day, and let's talk more. Tell me more. We'll talk specifics if you want to a little bit more, or we can go on with anything I've said here. Maybe I'm on, maybe I'm not. Hey, I'm trying the best I can with what little I have to go on. I'm Paul Roberts, and this is Conscious Counseling 101.